spotlight doesn't absolve you of your humanity, that you're allowed to have human moments.
Disney now, could we ever see you step into the Marvel universe? I would love a job. That's all I have to say. I'll take a job.
Everybody remain calm. It's happening. Like we've been begging for months since she started doing interviews about Snow White. Disney officially fires Rachel Zegler.
Rachel Zegler has made some extremely concerning comments regarding her Disney co-star, Jeremy Renner, and she's in for some major trouble, seeing as many saw her comments to be extremely hypocritical. You'll also be shocked to hear how Jeremy feels about the hate he's been receiving following his controversy. Rachel Zegler has not been the picture-perfect actress when it comes to staying out of trouble, something we all know to be true by now. However, after repeatedly speaking against Disney's executive decisions, including some of her fellow Disney actors, she might just be seeing her last days as Snow White. It all started back in 2019, when Rachel decided to call out Jeremy Renner, who plays Hawkeye in the MCU, for the controversy that he had found himself in. However, she was in no way respectful about it, as she made sure that he was slandered as much as possible. Jeremy got into huge trouble following his divorce case with his ex-wife, Sonny Pacheco, as things got incredibly messy during their custody battle for their daughter. Jeremy and Sonny were only officially married for 10 months before they had to file for divorce, as they claimed they simply had irreconcilable differences and that things could never work out. However, as was revealed during their custody battle, things were allegedly a lot worse than just some simple differences. According to some of the accusations made by his ex-wife, Jeremy had been misusing drugs and alcohol during their marriage, and he had even threatened to harm Sonny, as well as threatened to end his own life. Amidst the custody battle, Sonny came out to explain in detail all the ways that Jeremy had wronged their family, which made a lot of fans incredibly concerned. She claimed that Jeremy had emotionally, physically, and even sexually harmed their daughter and threatened to pull the trigger with a gun in his mouth before actually firing it into the ceiling, all right in front of their daughter. However, Jeremy himself wholeheartedly denied all of these accusations and even did everything in his power to prove them wrong. He in turn accused Sonny of having serious mental health issues as well as substance issues, which is why he had felt wronged in the marriage. He even went as far as undergoing random drug testing and even hired a mental health specialist to examine him in order to prove that he could be around his daughter. However, in response to these allegations, Renner denied everything and accused Pacheco of mental health and substance issues. He even underwent random drug testing and hired a mental health specialist to prove he could provide a safe environment for his daughter. Jeremy also revealed that Sonny had attempted to take advantage of his role in the MCU and the fame that came with it, as she tried to extort money out of his pocket. In fact, Jeremy's legal team had even pulled together a timeline of his film releases, which were compared to Sonny's allegations against him, in order to prove that she had purposely tried to defame him during his film releases. According to representatives, Jeremy has actually tried his very hardest to make things better with his daughter, despite everything that Sonny had accused him of. The court documents even claim that Jeremy had requested less time with his daughter in order to let Sonny overcome her overwhelming obsession with demonizing him. It was also said that Jeremy cares about the well-being of his daughter more than anything, and that Sonny's accusations are an extremely dramatized, one-sided attempt with the goal of taking him down. As all of this was happening, Rachel Zegler simply couldn't stand by, as she decided to take matters into her own hands and trash Jeremy's name on Twitter, regardless of whether or not any of the accusations were true, while also throwing other incriminating accusations at him. She initially tweeted, "Can I be the new Hawkeye?" After which she followed it up by saying, "Actually, I think the new Hawkeye should be a trans woman of color to stick it to that racist, sexist, transphobic garbage monster." She wasn't done there either, as she then went on to tweet a third time, saying, "And deaf, proper representation for the incredible deaf, hard of hearing community, a deaf, trans woman of color." Yes, it's safe to say that many internet users weren't happy to see Rachel be so openly hateful of someone, especially considering that she would go on to work for the same company. One user even criticized her by saying, "You need to learn the facts before you start running your damn mouth." Turns out most of the story is BS. Rachel couldn't help but respond to this comment, as she stood her ground on everything she had said. Not even remotely going to address the story that came out today, but he has made racist, sexist, transphobic comments and totally disrespected the deaf community. However, despite everything Rachel had to say about Jeremy at the time, the case against him actually ended with both parents sharing part-time custody of their daughter. However, things slightly escalated a while later, as Jeremy went on to request that his child support be reduced from $330,000 a month to $11,000. This was something Sonny heavily criticized him for, as she used it as proof of what she's had to deal with for years. However, many pointed out the fact that while Jeremy's role in the MCU certainly made him very well off, things were quite different during the pandemic, meaning he didn't earn nearly as much. Jeremy himself then went on to talk about how he felt about the way that everything he did was criticized one way or another, and how he actually felt like it spoke more about everyone who was talking about it than himself. I don't respond publicly or privately to nonsense. It only empowers it. If you respond to it, you give it gas. I don't fuel fires. I just don't do it. I refuse to. Many people actually felt like this could even be a very direct response to some of the things that Rachel had said, as it was very clear that he didn't feel the need to defend himself, as he himself believed he was innocent. Rachel was very clearly behaving like every other internet hater, as she not only attempted to damage his reputation, but also stood her ground on publicly hating a fellow actor. Many fans found this to be incredibly ironic, as Rachel herself has very recently talked about not fueling internet hate trains the same way that Jeremy has. She's, in fact, been very opposed to hating on people and been a huge advocate of choosing peace, which is why so many people saw her words to be full of hypocrisy.
Thankfulness and gratefulness is choosing peace. And as much as you'd like to remind people verbally that being in the spotlight doesn't absolve you of your humanity, that you're allowed to have human moments, it doesn't necessarily do what you want it to do, and it fuels them more.
Yes, exactly.
And so, just as you said, it's like choosing to be present and know that they're probably just having a really hard day.
Yes.
And I am putting out a movie.
She then even went on to talk about how hate instead fuels her strength, and that, at the end of the day, the love in her life is what really matters.
And I feel so thankful for those moments because it started to make me feel like solid Teflon.
Yes.
That it can't really, that nothing can hurt anymore. Because they've said the worst that can be said, and you just kind of say thank you so much for this.
Rachel, speaking so freely about how important it is to ignore hate, and that as long as you know that you're doing your best, everything should be fine, has truly caused an uproar online, as many fans almost couldn't believe how incredibly hypocritical this seemed, considering all of the hate trains she has started in the past. It's not just Jeremy either, as she has been known to initiate hateful talks regarding many figures online, like when she started a war against Gina Carano over pronouns. Do not make fun of pronouns. They are not a joke. Pronouns are validating. Pronouns are cool. Put your pronouns in your bio. I wear my pronouns on a button sometimes. It's a good thing. In fact, she even shared a picture of the mentioned pin with her pronouns on it, which, while it seemed innocent enough from her side, fueled an incredible hate train against Gina, which is still ongoing to this day. It's also impossible to ignore the elephant in the room, as one of Rachel's most hated on things to date is the original Snow White movie, which she is now starring in. It's safe to say that fans have gotten tired of hearing Rachel trash the beloved story, and Disney might even be just as tired of her as the internet is. In fact, it looks like Disney is watching Rachel's controversies very closely, as they look to be in the process of replacing her from the movie. Many leaks have come out to say that Rachel's screen time has significantly fallen in the movie, and that a new, younger actress might be stepping in to try and salvage the Snow White character from Rachel's hateful hands. This is the end of the video. What you thinking about this video? Tell us in comment box and subscribe to a channel for more videos like this.